Hey, Jimbo, you ready for this deal?
Turn him out.
Old stories like long lost friends, rodeos and late night bends, history before our time, round pens and pasture rides, cowboys of the Osage.
Howdy, friends and neighbors. Time once again for the Cowboys of the Osage podcast with your host, Jimbo Snively and Cody Garnett. Now let's sing a little bit about it. Cowboys of the Osage, riding once again. Always got some time for a friend. And here they are, the Cowboys of the Osage.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Cowboys of the Osage podcast, brought to you by the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum, the Buck and Flamingo Turquoise Shop, and now Saucy Calf, traditional Native American food, all located right here in historic downtown Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Hey, it's old Cody over here, and as always, I have my main man with me, Mr. Rodeo Historian himself, songwriter too, heck of a good songwriter, Jimbo Snively. Morning, Jimbo. Who do we have on today?
Hey, Cody boy, it's just another great day in the Osage, man. And Cody, you know we've got the big steer open finals coming up in November up in Mulvane, Kansas, and we've got, I'd say, kind of the face of steer open the last year or so with
Steer Roping headquarters himself.
Steer Roping headquarters, Mr. Kenyon Burns, and Kenyon's a national final steer roper himself, and his dad also was a great steer roper, and they come from that great steer roping country of Lovington, New Mexico.
Rookie of the year, too.
Rookie of the year, all that stuff. And no telling what all we'll talk about. But anyway, Kenyon, welcome to the Cowboys of the Osage podcast.
I was telling him about your horse, riding your horse on the Cheyenne track with a halter on it. When you were cut off a while ago, I went through.
Oh, gosh, now why would you tell a story like that?
I told him not to tell it. You wasn't there to defend yourself.
I went
but he
through
did
the whole
it anyway.
story. I told it the way I saw it from afar. We need the version of it, first-hand version of the guy sitting on the horse real quick.
Sure, no, I got you. Hey, give me a couple seconds. I'm going to get a stool right quick. I want to make sure that that I'm kind of set down so I can make sure I get everything in order and give it to you in the series of events as to how it happened and make sure that you can paint the picture. Bear with me. I'll be right back.
You got it. It was the wildest thing you ever seen, Jimbo. Everybody, every steer roper, everybody in the stands, everybody working there.
Some of the fans there probably thought it was part of the show. Maybe trick riding or something.
Yeah. Everybody there was paying close attention to what was going on with Kenyon and his horse there on the track.
Right.
I mean, they were going at a high. I think that horse may have won some sort of stakes or something. Some sort of stakes at a race. He might have could have won the damn Kentucky Derby on that horse that day. All right.
Well, you know what? We were rolling pretty fast. Yeah, we were rolling pretty fast. So let's start with the morning's event. It was the first year that they had team roping in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Okay.
I don't know, Cody, I'm sure you were there.
Yeah, I was there. I watched it. That's the year that they roped muley steers there
Yeah,
at
that's
the
right.
Cheyenne.
You were there. That's right, yeah. And I don't know if you remember, but they roped muleys that first year that they had the team roping.
Yes.
So anyway, this guy from Southeast Texas wanted to rope with me. And so we entered up, and I think we actually got a time. He got a leg, and I had this big old powerful head horse. And I mean, this sucker had a 454 engine for a heart. And boy, he could run, but he was strong and just borderline dangerous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And his name was Sunshine, by the way. And so anyway, we wrote, and shoot, we were happy. We just got a time, and we were watching some of the other roping, and I went and got me a Coke and like a breakfast burrito and this and that under the stands. The steer roping was going to be a little bit further down. I think they were going to bulldog in between the team roping and the steer roping for some reason. Or maybe we were in a different section. Maybe I was coming back for my second round in the slack. I can't remember the case, but I was going to be tripping a steer like around lunch or something. So around, 10 o'clock, something like that, I go over to get my head horse. I've taken my bridle and everything off. I've hung it on the saddle horn. I put his halter on him and had him tied up, everything. I had me a team roping bag there, like a real team roper. And so I took that team roping bag and kind of, slung it over the saddle horn. And instead of messing with the bridle and the tie down and everything, I thought, I'll just get on him and just ride him back out to the trailer to get my tripping horse with the halter on. As a side note, this horse came off the track.
Okay.
And this is a great big horse with lots and lots and lots of speed. And he's very, very skittish. Very spookish.
What could go wrong?
To the point to where he gets spooked and he'll tear something down or tear something up. So anyway, so we start walking, the break in the track there where everybody goes, goes in and out right there, kind of by those pins.
Yeah.
So I walked through there, and I feel like I had someone that was on my right that was just kind of, walking with me. We had said a couple of things, and a couple of friends came by, and they had all their steer stuff. And anyway, this horse, whenever they went by, this guy, he was jacking with me a little bit, and he kind of put his rope up like he was going to heel that horse on the way by, but actually didn't. And it scared old Sunshine. So Sunshine just immediately took off in a lope. And I thought, well, I didn't think a whole lot of it. And I thought, well, I'll get him shut down. I'm a cowboy. And so we're going down the straightaway, and he's just going a little faster and a little faster. And so I'm double-handed down there on the lead rope, just, really starting to yank with everything I've got. And he's not giving any to it. I thought, okay, cool. Now, a short pause. If I would have known then what I know now, I would have pulled the ripcord immediately. I would have done the tuck and roll and just ended the ride right there. But I thought, well, when we go into the curve, I'll really suck my hand down there and pull his head back and just basically kind of spin him around and break his stride. Well, when we got to the turn like that, I got his head turned around, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, but we weren't doing anything but going faster and faster and faster. And so we get around the turn, and then he sees where that straightaway starts to head out into the parking lot. And I thought, this is not good at all. This is going to be bad. they're going to see me plastered on the nose of a bloomer somewhere. So we're headed out into there, man, and I'm just, you're thinking the worst. Doug Clark comes riding up beside me as fast as he can. And Doug, man, he's hollering at this horse and he's screaming and shooing him. And I mean, basically at one point, I think maybe even our knees might have touched. That he was trying so hard to keep this horse from going out of that straightaway into the parking lot. Well, he got it done. So there was win number one. We're not out into the parking lot.
But you're not
so we're going back down the straightaway in front of the big grandstands where the entertainment stage is. And I thought, well, surely he's not going to run through the entertainment stage. Well, I mean, he's going. It just feel like we just keep going faster and faster. We start to get up to the stage. And he checks a couple of times. And I thought, the ride is finally over. Man, that was a tough one. Well, he identified a gap between the actual arena fence and the very back of the stage, which, Cody, but was not, but about 3 feet wide.
And they had a board going over it.
Maybe at most. And they had this big board that they had some electric cables. They were using this board to support some electric cables that were coming from the camera pit over to the stage. And I'm going to tell you what, this board was this a really big horse. And I felt like that board was probably lined up pretty even with my neck.
Or a little bit lower even.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been, because I know when it finally happened, my saddle horn just barely went under that 4x4.
It didn't look like you were going to make it under from across the way that day.
Hey, that's so ironic, because it didn't look like I was going to make it under there from my vantage point either, Cody. So anyway, we're headed towards it, and I know he's not going to stop. And I'm thinking, okay, what's my option here? I'm really not wanting to jump off on the fence or that stage or anything. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to have to put my arms up and take it. And it was going to be a tough take it. Maybe some broken arms, but maybe I would live. Then at the last minute, I thought, the heck with this. I got to try something. And so I did an extreme, out of this world, left-handed bulldogging move like you've never seen in your life.
I saw it.
So I go off like the left-hand side, and I've still got the saddle horn, and I get down just as low as I possibly can. And I see that board just kind of braze the top of my hand. And I thought, whoa, I've got so much adrenaline going at this point. I'm like, okay, now I want to be back on the animal. So, man, I come back up out of it. Of course, there was a guy that were getting ready for George Strait that night. I can't remember if he was out there or not. I don't know. I do know there was a guy unloading some guitars out of a Suburban. And I went by and knocked his side mirror off and about scared him half to death. But where everybody watches the slack, they're sitting there with their legs cocked over their saddle horns and, they're not paying attention. And everybody's just lined up down there. And there were some of them that didn't see me coming. And there was a guy on the end on a gray horse. He was sitting there, and he had his kid that was probably 7, 8 years old sitting on the back with him. And he never did clue into me that I was coming. So, man, we're getting closer and closer. And then I see Kevin Stewart right there. The old, team roper used to go to the finals a lot.
Oh, yeah. Good steer roper, too.
He just does a huge, what do you call that, a hula hand? Where you swing it backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a huge hula hand to try to rope that horse. And then he was just going to try to throttle the horse down. Well, as he's doing this, I'm raising my arms up again for impact. I'm thinking, we're hitting this gray horse. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I forgot about this part.
I'm hitting the gray horse. So I'm putting my hands up. The hula hand loop comes, and he gets so close. And his intentions were so good. But he actually roped me.
Yeah, I forgot about this, Jimbo.
And so he roped me, and then when it did, it just sucked my arms down to the side, to both my sides. So whenever I made an impact, I was helpless. Absolutely helpless. And so I just T-boned this poor man with his poor offspring sitting on the back on a peaceful day at Cheyenne, Wyoming, watching the slack. And I just T-boned them both. And so I went flying over him and his horse. My horse goes down. His gray horse goes down. I'm not too sure there's not a third horse that doesn't go down during all this, because it was a true real life collision. I'll call it what it was. It was a collision. And I had to have looked like a yard dart just being slung out over the top of old Sunshine's head.
Yeah, his arm.
And so, bam, I hit right on the top of my head out there on the track. And it really dazed me. I didn't quite know what was going on. And horses are down. And whenever they're down, both on the side, they're clawing and they're kicking. And I was kind of in the middle of all that and trying to get away from it. Well, I finally get stood up and I see this gray horse that I just ran over. He gets up and he's spooked. Well, he's got a coil. He's got a bunch of coils of a rope wrapped around his back leg, and he's about to run off. And I just happened to look down. Well, it's the coils from Kevin's rope that has come up around my neck at this point. And so this sucker's he's coming around, and I thought, I'm about to make another loop around the Cheyenne track being drugged by my neck. Anyway, Brent Lewis comes running out there, and he gets in, he grabs me, he grabs the rope, throws it off of me, and we avoided lap number 2. And so then, man, I am beat up. I've got blood coming out of my head. I don't know what's going on. They take me back into the EMT underneath the grandstands. And as we're going through there, I don't see anybody. Everybody's all cleared out, and there's nobody under there except Lionel Burns eating breakfast. So they take me by there, and he just kind of watches as we go by. Then he comes in there and he says, well, did something happen? You can understand, Cody, probably what I felt like telling him at that point. But I didn't say a word. they asked me who the president was and this and that, and I was able to get through some of that. So they let me go, and boy, my shirt was torn, and I was not in that good a shape. And then, but I still had time to go rope steers, and I won second in the round.
Perfect.
And so that was the Cheyenne story that you saw and so many have heard about, and that reminded me about 22 years later, every time I go to Cheyenne.
Jimbo, how close was my story to his story?
Pretty close.
It was pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I may have had a couple small details wrong.
I thought you were probably exaggerating, but you
No,
weren't.
I forgot about the guy roping it.
Yeah, right.
I remember him running into the horse. But for some reason, I don't even know why, I forgot about the guy roping him. And holy
Yeah,
moly.
I got roped. Yeah, sure got roped, man. Yeah. Yeah, I got roped and just yard darted.
It's one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
There's another part of the story, and I could hear him, and a lot of other people could hear him as well. But my friend Joe Beaver, he was sitting up there with where the family sits during the slack, and he stands up and he's yelling. And he's yelling a word that sounds very similar to duck, mother trucker. It's a phrase that sounds almost just like it. Duck, mother trucker, duck.
Yeah.
And his wife hit him. She said, "You can't say that up here." He says, "That boy needs to hear that word right now because he is in danger."
It's coming up to that board, right?
Yeah, that's when I was coming up to the board. Yeah. And because he knew that I was just going to try to take it. And he knew that I needed to hear duck. And I heard that voice over there. It's like, I got to try something. I got to try something. Therefore, then came in the famous left-handed bulldogging position.
That's a good one.
I told you, Jimbo.
Yeah. I thought you had to be exaggerating.
No, I wasn't exaggerating. I didn't even have the full story.
No.
It got wilder from that
No,
point.
and probably left a few parts out, I would suspect. Yeah, it was really quite a show. And I tell you what I really learned after that day is to never, ever, ever get on a horse with a halter.
Especially a racehorse at the racetrack.
I never even took that into consideration too, Jimbo. Boy, you talk about feel like an idiot. But I really thought that I could handle that horse with a halter, and I couldn't.
Did you make the Legacy Finals, Kenyon, that they're having up there?
I did not because I'm not old enough.
Oh,
Cody.
okay. Perfect. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
news.
thank you. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate that.
Well, I figured you had a gold card. I didn't know you had to be a certain age.
Well, yes, I think you have to be turning 50 that year.
Oh, okay. I just thought you had to have a gold card. I was just mistaken.
And so, but Cody Garnett, next year I will be eligible. I will be eligible next year.
So you're going to be shooting us all the updates from the National Final Steer Rope in is that the first weekend in November this year?
It is the first weekend in November, and I'm going to be there and have a little filmer there and everything set up. And we're going to try to update you as much as possible.
Perfect.
I'm going to try to get some round winner interviews, update you with earnings, have somebody doing all the stats. We're looking at maybe doing some stuff live, as people are being able to watch it on TV. Or not being able, or if they're not able to watch it on TV, they can get on their phone and see some stuff going on live. That's That's what we're wanting to do. We're wanting to try to get it as real time as possible. And then at the very end of it, we'll do one big show that would just be a wrap up.
Excellent. And y'all's Facebook pages.
Are y'all going to be able to make it up there?
We hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you, yet. The only time I ever talked about it was you the other day, Kenyon.
I know it. Well, that's what you said, man. It'd be an honor, I think, for the national finals if the Cowboys of the Osage was at the national finals steer roping participating.
You know, I was at the first national finals.
1959, Clayton, New Mexico?
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
No, Cody actually told me that the other day. That is, you talk about a guy that has known steer roping literally since the time he could talk.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Sure.
And so you had a dad and an uncle roping that year?
Grandpa and an uncle. My dad ran the chute.
Grandpa and an uncle.
Yeah, my dad opened the chute. My dad was there and he opened the chute gate. So they were all three participating.
Okay. Now, did your dad end up like 16th or 17th or something?
And they told him to go because he said somebody will drop out. Well, so we had to take another car and another horse trailer just to take the extra horse out there. And nobody dropped out. So they felt bad and they paid him $200 a day to open the gate.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That's big money.
To open the chute.
Yeah, but he liked to froze to death.
That is rock. Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
I ended up 17th or 18th one year and had to go on time.
New Mexico.
Yeah, I was at the first one. And
wow.
Went to all the early ones. You know, I remember all the ones at Pawhuska early and Veneta and then back to Pawhuska and all that, McAllister. But
and I guess, didn't they have Pecos a time or two?
Yeah, I never went to Pecos. But, yeah, they had Pecos 2 years, 68 and 70, I think, or 68 and 69. 69 and 70.
It was muddy down there, too. Can you believe it, Kenyon?
Not really. I mean, did somebody leave the sprinklers running all night, or what happened?
I don't know. We got some old pictures of it, and it was muddy booger down there at Pecos at the national finals.
Hey, I've heard that. I've had some guys tell me that it was muddy down there, and yes, it is hard to believe.
Well, Jimbo, what else you got for old Kenyon today?
Well, we just thank him, but tell him to keep up the good work. You know, on the steer roping headquarters, we really appreciate it and appreciate what you're doing for steer roping.
You know what, Jimbo?
And that, that's a two-way street. I was telling Cody up there at Cheyenne, we've got big mouths on us. Well, I guess we might as well use them for good and for something that, we both love very much, and that is steer roping and the Western way of life. And I am more than appreciative of the things that you guys have done, because I don't really listen to podcasts or anything, but I listen to y'all's, because y'all have had some of the most interesting guys on there. My favorite one so far is with Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
Yep, that was my favorite one so far. And the one with Guy and Gipp was good.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I couldn't believe we could nail Jimmy down for over 3 minutes at a time to do an hour-long podcast.
I didn't think you could sit still that long, did you?
Nope, I sure didn't.
Oh, my gosh. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. But I really appreciate what you guys are doing as well. And the Western way of life is important to the foundation of the United States.
Yep.
Because it's cowboy, and it's cowboy that believes in God, takes care of his family, and loves the United States of America. And we need a lot more of that in our country and in our society today.
Amen.
Hey,
in fact, if the world would be a lot better place if we just had more cowboys.
That's right.
No joke about that.
There really would be. Yeah, it really would be. So it's actually an honor to be able to talk about something that I know a little bit about and help try to support those principles and those values, just like you guys are doing. And it truly is an honor for y'all to ask me to be on this podcast with you, and I really, really appreciate it.
Hey, Kenyon, being the ambassador steer roper that you are now, the ambassador of steer ropers, we normally ask a guy at the end of one of these,
Okay.
if you were to name 4 guys to go on the Mount Rushmore of steer roping, who would they be? Your Mount Rushmore of steer roping. 4 names only, though.
Well, of course, Guy Allen. Yeah. Of course, it'd have to be Guy Allen would be, the first one. I think Sean Burchett has to be the second one. I'm going to stay away from active steer ropers.
They got to be retired.
Yep.
For your list.
So I think Sonny Davis has to go on there. And then there's one more. And it's
hard to do that.
golly. Boy, it is.
It's hard just to pick.
I'm almost thinking Chuck Webster.
I like it.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of guys' lists.
I don't know. I mean, but golly, you got McIntyres and Snively's and just there's so many.
You got Everett Shaw. You got Bob Crosby.
Yeah, that's true.
It's tough.
That's true. I know. So, right quick, Jimbo, tell me your family tree right quick.
Oh, well, my grandfather was Jim Snively Sr.
Yep.
And he was a top calf roper back in the late 30s and 40s, and then started single steer roping. Was world champion steer roper in 1956, and won the first national finals in 1959. And then Joe.
That's right.
Joe was my uncle, his youngest boy, and he won the average in 61 and 72. Yeah, 72. He got beat out for the world by Clark McIntyre in 1961 by $94. He was just
no kidding.
19 years old.
Wow. What a story.
You got a little more too than that,
story.
Jimbo.
What's that?
How many times did
about
Clark
your great-uncles?
McIntyre win the world?
3.
How about Shoot?
4.
He has a couple more in his family tree that were some of the very top cowboys in the world before they had a national finals too. Old Pat Parker.
Yeah, I had Uncle
I
Pat.
have
and
heard
Jay
of
Snively.
Pat Parker.
He was a good calf roper back in the 40s. Had a little trouble with alcohol, and his career was cut short. But he was a top calf roper. Sure was.
Didn't he make the centerfold of
I've heard
Life
those
magazine?
old cowboys will get out there drinking a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he drank more than a little bit, but he was also in the centerfold of Life magazine, 1948. Cody's got a copy of it here in the museum. Roping a calf at Madison Square Garden, 1948.
What about Jay
Madison
Snively?
Square Garden.
Do what, Cody?
What about Jay Snively?
And Jim's older brother, Jay, was a top calf roper, and Jim told me he had one of the first horses, if not the first horse, to work a rope on his own. You know, if you look at those old calf roping pictures back in the 20s into the 30s, a lot of times the rope was just laying on the ground, and the guy tying the calf, you know. And
I've noticed
they
that.
said Jay had one of the first ones, and Will Rogers bought him for $2,500, which was a lot of money in 1930, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He also won Cheyenne one time in an event that I don't even know if they have anymore.
Yeah, I've got a silver cup
What
at
is it?
home. It was a match. It was, what's that cup say? I can't
Match
remember.
race.
Yeah, match race. Cheyenne match race, 1933, I believe, won by Jay Snively.
A match race.
Yeah. And I've got that silver cup. I need to bring it here to the museum, but I doubt there's very many of them
So
around.
what's the match race?
I don't know. It's just some kind of a horse race, and Jim always told me that Jay had a horse that could really run, but that's all I ever knew. And then we we bought this cup. It showed up at an auction here in Pawhuska, and we ended up buying it. And I don't know where it'd been, the story on where it got away from the family or every place it'd been, but we ended up buying it, and now it's at my house.
What happened to Jay?
Wow.
He finally just died. I mean, he was up there pretty good in years.
I didn't know if he died in his prime or what. I didn't know.
No.
No, Cody, he just died.
Just died.
He's got a pretty historic rodeo family.
Well, that's what it sounds like. I didn't know there was the relation to the Parker guy because I have heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite the roper.
So, yeah, as far as the other one, I guess I am going to say Shook Webster.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He
was pretty dominant back then.
Pretty darn dominant, yeah.
So, okay, now I'd love to know, what about y'all?
Well, you always have to start with, like you said, Guy Allen. I mean, you can't deny 18 World Championships. And
sure.
And then I have to put, of course, I'm old school, but I got to put Choate and Everett Shaw on there. And then I'm like you, I'm kind of lost on that fourth one. Although I always tell people that Olin Young was the best roper I thought Olin Young was the best roper I ever saw. I just liked the way he roped. He roped them all, put a trip on them, tied them all down, just a perfectionist. Same way in the calf rope. He's won the average at the National Finals calf roping 4 times and the average at the National Finals steer roping 3 times. He's got 7 average championships.
Hey, let me tell you something. They don't just hand those out to anybody.
No. So I guess I'll put Olin on there.
I've heard that about him, that he was an absolute perfectionist, and he did everything right every time.
Yeah, he sure did. I tell people he roped the way I wanted to rope.
I'm just going to go straight ropers, Kenyon. I like J.D. Yates. I said, I'm just going to go horn ropers, not steer ropers.
Okay.
I'm going to go J.D. Yates.
Okay, let's hear it.
J.D. Yates.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go Bobby Harris.
Woo! Okay.
Those last 2 get hard for me, on my Mount Rushmores. I'm going to put my dad on there for me, just for my own personal Mount Rushmore.
I think that you should. I think it's very well merited. There's a lot of merit to it.
And I'm right there with you guys. I can't hardly get a 4th one in on that deal. I've seen so many great ropers through my life, but I tell you what, just roping horns, J.D. Yates and Bobby Harris really impressed me a lot. Still to this day.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because what do they both have in common?
They're healers.
There you go. And I don't know if you remember when Rich Skelton was roping steers, he roped the crap out of those horns.
Yeah, he did. Horn roping.
He could crack it on them. And so there's something that goes on with their dynamic, their swing, their delivery. There's something that really helps that steer rope and loop.
Yeah, they just don't miss.
That's just too coincidental.
Yeah.
Yeah, too coincidental. And not only do they not miss, hey, they rope them like perfect every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, steer ropers, I'd go Guy Allen just like you, Sean Burchett. I might even throw Jim Davis on mine. Just that's the era I grew up in. Those are the guys I grew up watching. And
I know, Jimmy D. That's a hard one to look over. I know.
He was just there when I was growing up. And as far as steer ropers, that 4th one, it'd be hard for me to do, just like anybody else. I might put Bob Crosby on there just for fun.
Sure.
Just because he's wild.
Just because he's
wild like you,
Cody. Arnold Phelps is a hard one to look over.
Yeah.
There's too many of them out there. Yeah, he was one of those guys I watched my whole life too. And the craziest thing about Arnold, the older he got, the better he got. It's wild.
I know it.
He was 50 years old winning 6 go-rounds at the National Finals.
Thing. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. How many How many go-rounds did he win in a row?
6.
6.
Yes. Now, I want to tell you kind of a weird little story. He did it on the horse that I high school team roped on. Old Santa Claus.
No kidding.
Yep. We called him Ed. And he ran in the right lead, and it was a real long right lead, and it was just weird. But I team roped on him and was okay, and tripped some steers on him. Nobody really liked him around there. I said, I'll go try him out. Well, he tried him out all right. And the rest is history.
Yeah, never saw him. He didn't look like he was in that right lead with old Arnold very good. He looked like he was in his left lead, and he came back. He came back hard, too.
It was amazing the timing that those two had. Arnold would have that slow loop way out there, and as he would cross over, just crack, and like everything happened at the same time.
You know, I think the year that Arnold Feltz won the world, he got his horse over the rope on his 10th steer. And I don't know if it's Buddy Lytle flagging or who, but they made him get back on his horse and turn and put slack in your rope. Didn't let him take it off the horn.
Really?
Didn't let him cut it. Nothing. And I think that was a big, just
that's
big good horse.
that's hardcore flagging,
John
man.
Henry, I heard.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, John Henry was that horse's name, right?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe a big black horse.
Possibly.
Yeah,
You know, I just heard the story. I don't remember seeing it or anything, so I
yeah.
was out playing underneath the grandstand
Well,
somewhere.
Well, it was in 1981, so
Okay. That's getting back there, isn't it?
it's getting back there a little bit.
43 years ago. That's hard
Yeah.
to believe, isn't it?
It is.
Crazy.
Yeah, Jimbo, it really is.
It just seemed like yesterday to me.
What were you doing in 1981, Jimbo?
I was trying to learn how to rope and working in the oil field welding.
Same old stuff.
Yeah.
You've always done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Kenyon, we appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate
Guys,
you giving
thank y'all
your
very much
picks
for
on the
having
national
me.
finals.
It's been a blast.
Well, it's been our pleasure. And like I say, keep up the good work promoting that steer roping.
We're going to keep going with steer roping headquarters, and we're going to keep everybody informed, especially during the finals, and I'll definitely be in touch with you guys.
Perfect. And be sure and check them out on their steer roping updates page. They also got a YouTube page. What's it called? Do you have a YouTube page?
Yeah, we did. We got a YouTube page set up.
Okay.
And you've kind of caught me on the spot because I don't remember what it's called right offhand.
Gotcha.
We've been a little bit behind the curve as far as getting some of that stuff set up. It's been kind of a pilot year where we've primarily been on Facebook. You can find us at PRCA Steer Roping Updates. And so we're providing video content to that Facebook page with the show called Steer Roping Headquarters. You can also find us under Kenyon Burns 1 on Instagram. And then you can go to YouTube and just, Google PRCA Steer Roping Updates, my name, or Steer Roping Headquarters.
Yep.
Everybody check out Kenyon's stuff.
You bet.
Give them a
It's
follow.
Good, it's good stuff.
Look us up, start liking it, watch it, share it, subscribe to it, anything you can do.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Steer roping is the word.
That's right. Steer roping's the main deal for us.
Single steer roping is about to reach heights that no one ever thought was possible.
It already has. It surpassed any expectations I ever had for it by 2024. No doubt about it. It's better than I ever thought it could
just
be.
right quick, go to Eastern Oklahoma, and there's so many different little associations of jackpot steer ropings and this and that. I mean, y'all have them like everybody else has team roping down here.
Well, we're the steer roping capital of the world up here, Kenyon.
I have to admit that, yes. Being from Lee County, gosh, it's tough. But yes, I have to admit it. I agree.
I know that Lee County is a famous county too for
for
all kind of ropers and cowboys, no doubt about
it's
it.
cowboy country.
It used to be the home of the most world champions or something, wasn't it? Something like that, Kenyon? Lovington, the home of more world champions anywhere at one time?
Champions. Yeah, something about more world. Yeah, at one time. I don't think it is now.
Stephenville is now.
But at one time, there are more world champions come out of Lee County than anywhere else on the map.
That Jake McClure could really rope. My grandpa knew him, roped against him, calf roping, and he told me one time that he could really, really rope.
Yeah, evidently he was pretty handy with that lariat.
Yeah, he always wore a tie, and and used a pretty small loop.
With a tie on.
Pretty small loop, but Jim said he could really, really rope.
When you get up in that legacy, you're going to have to break them ties back out, Kenyon.
Yeah.
You know what? I am not afraid to do that, Cody Garnett, and I just, by golly, might do it.
You better pin it to yourself so you don't get it caught in your string.
Go old school on him, Kenyon. That'd look good.
Yeah, I will probably have to have that thing pinned down pretty low. You know, like pinned to the very bottom of my shirt.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd hate to get it in a hooey.
Uh-huh.
Boy, I sure hate to get it caught on a saddle horn and get drug around again.
That's the main thing. Oh shoot! We're gonna cut that story out and put.
Starting to wonder how safe it is.
Did you see Sean Williams? He was wearing a tie the other day.
Yeah. I told him. I said that's old school, Sean.
Yeah, he had a hat on with a brim like that long on it.
Right,
3-inch brim.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, Kenyon, we appreciate you coming on today. We can't wait to have you in person one of these days. And
we'll do another one in person sometime.
Everybody,
hey, you can just bank on it if you'll allow me, because I want to come down and sit down with you guys, and I want to see that museum like nobody's business.
You know, Kenyon's famous in Pawhuska, don't you, Jimbo? Everybody in Pawhuska knows who Kenyon Burns is. Everybody. He's had that autographed picture on the wall at Bad Brad's all these years.
Didn't know where you was going with that, but yeah, he sure did.
There's a little bit of truth to that.
Yep.
Yep. It's still up there too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still hanging up there. You and Johnny Pollock still got
that's
a picture
awesome,
in there.
man.
Your Bad Company rodeo pictures.
Oh, the Bad Company days, man. Gotta love those.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about those a little more in detail when we get.
That's what we should do, is just have a Bad Company day.
We should.
Okay.
I tell you what, that guy could almost go on the Mount Rushmore steer roping.
Yes, I'd love that.
Mac Altizer could almost go on that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you back sometime, Kenyon. That'd be a good one. We'll have a lot plenty to talk. We'll have plenty to talk about, for sure.
Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yep. I tell you
guys
what.
Have a blessed afternoon, and thanks again for allowing me to be on. We're gonna have some steer roping headquarters shows coming up before we get to the finals, to try to brief everyone on the individual ropers, what their strengths are, and then get to the finals and keep you as up to date as possible.
Sounds good to me.
You know, when you think about Bad Company rodeo, they had about as much to do with modern steer roping today as anybody, really. I mean, they kept it going.
They absolutely do.
They had it every rodeo.
Yeah, he did. Oh, he had it all of them. He was bound and determined to turn it into a speed event.
He took it to Florida. He took it to Georgia. He took it to every single rodeo he had.
He did. Yeah, I know. He wanted it. He said, we're going to have steer tripping.
You know, I want to send out a big congratulations to him. They're inducting him in the Cowboy Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City this year. And
that's right.
Very well deserved.
That is exactly right. And that takes place in November, I believe.
Yep. probably the weekend after the finals, I think. Some years it's been the same
Very
weekend.
well could be.
Some years it's been the same weekend, but I believe it's different weekends this year, which would be good.
Yeah, very well could be. Yep.
Well, Kenyon, we're going to get off here, and
Okay.
we'll see everybody next week. Be sure and get over here to the museum, check it out. Get over to the Buck and Flamingo turquoise shop, get you some good jewelry bought.
That's what I need to do is get to the bucket. That's what I was trying to think of the other day up there in Cheyenne. I couldn't think of the name of the store.
Yeah.
It's the Buck and Flamingo. I just love it.
Yep,
Love
that's
everything about it.
Well, we got some pretty rank flamingos around here, so. Don't forget to go get you
I
an
bet
Indian
y'all
taco
do.
with the saucy calf either. So
Sure. Yeah. I'd love to see a rank flamingo.
yeah, well, get up here. I'll show you all about it. We got a whole herd of flamingos. So
Yeah.
Okay, man. That'd be great, and that's a deal.
all right. We'll see everybody
Fellas, y'all
next
have a
week.
great afternoon. Thanks again.
You too,
Thanks, Kenyon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.